Thank you, everybody, for joining us on Quantum Healing today. My name is Melanie Aguirre, and today we have an amazing guest, a very special guest, one of my personal favorites I'd like to share. Her name is A.L. Garris, the founder of Sacred Expansion, LLC, and the creator of Acasma Quantum Energy. Her work focuses on helping people reconnect with their source energy, activate higher awareness, and return to a more aligned, natural flow in life through teaching, energy work, and frequency healing. A.L. Garris supports individuals during this time of global and personal transformation. She is known for her work with higher dimensional guidance, light frequencies, and for helping others remember their original spiritual blueprint through authentic awakening and remembrance. And so let me introduce today A.L. Garris. How are you doing?
I am well. I am well. I am well. Thank you for that. Thank you for sharing that information and for your presence, Melanie, and all that you are and doing and being. It's always an honor to be with you.
Yes, thank you so much for being with us today. I'm glad we could arrange this. And let's get started on what Acasma quantum energy is.
Okay. All right. I love it. And I love the title of your space. I see quantum healing today. Perfect.
Yes.
And you know, a lot of people are into the term and they are drawn to the term, they're drawn to the space, but we're all kind of like still becoming available to these understandings, landing at deeper and deeper levels as we're available to them. So a Cosma quantum energy is an energetic healing modality, and it's an ascension assistance modality. So it's going to be similar for many to the understanding of Reiki in being able to assist the human body in its healing process energetically, which then floods through all aspects of the being, physical, mental, emotional. And it's also going to assist the human body, which this is a big one, in the way in which we are processing, assimilating, and grounding these higher frequencies of ourselves as we're ascending. So a Cosmic Quantum Energy is an ascension assistance modality as well. Quantum healing itself is landing, meaning more and more humans are becoming aware of quantum healing and being available to quantum healing. And this is also happening because the humans realizing it's a bit vaster than it thought itself to be. And we're starting to be available to this understanding of, you know, I think it kind of started with people being available to reincarnation. Like that might have been one of the first spaces that kind of, you know, pinged us. And then past life spaces. And then that kind of opened up to what about other dimensional connections or other worlds we may have lived in, you know, if consciousness is probably vaster than any of us could ever comprehend, isn't that space kind of maybe incomprehensible as well? The spaces of us, right? Prior to this one, and maybe we could allow the words in addition to this one, since we're talking about quantum, because it's kind of like all right now. But I think the spaces we allowed to begin with were like past life understandings. And that was a big one for a lot of people, right? To just be like, oh my gosh, yeah, it resonates. I was here in this other space and this other time, and I understood myself in that way, in that manner, in that time. And then allowing that to be part of, or in a sense, maybe integrated into the now version of us, right? Who's being the space we see in the mirror, right? And has the family and the friends and the jobs and the lives we have. So we are integrating that. And I think now that walked us here to quantum healing today. I love the title of your space. It walked us here to this space of, yes, remembering, really, that's what we've done, that we're multidimensional beings, that we're this vastness of consciousness that's happened to honed itself into a now focus point You call your life, I call my life, you know, and that's an exploration space the vastness is utilizing to continue to expand its understanding of itself. And so the multidimensional being spaces of us is coming into our understanding more and more because we're being more available to it. That's energy. Everything's energy, right? Everything, all information holds an energy vibration, a signature, a flow. And so when you take in new information, you're, in essence, you're taking in new energy, or you're opening your energy to a new flow state because you've clicked into this space, right? And this information, this knowing. So just even entertaining, contemplating right now, whoever's hearing me right now, you taking a moment to imagine or ponder you as this vastness, as a multidimensional being having a now. The minute you do that, you have that thought, you imagine that vision, your frequency, your vibration starts to change. And the body processes the change. Some people, it's very easy for them to process the change. And for other people, it doesn't process the same way. And there's no judgment. It's just everybody's built differently. And all of these spaces matter because they're all reference points of source. So we need the ones that take a little different approach to process than the others, because they're all representing a specific connection point with source, in which source is expanding. All spaces are needed and all spaces are valuable. So ACASMA showed up as a quantum energy space of alignment, connection, assistance that in 2020, which I find fascinating, came in, and I had more so of a regular life then. And I love my life. I love my life. I loved it then, but I'm madly in love with it now. And it came in, and now there's this international community where the teachings of ACASMA quantum energy are in 7 languages. We have teachers all over, and this is what we're going into 6 years of this, or something like that. 7 years this year, but that's not a whole lot of time to take something that nobody had ever heard of prior to 2020 and then put it across an entire planet into 7 different languages, and it's being taught and facilitated in more than 7, but taught in 7. I think that's incredible. And I think that just shows you and I how ready humanity is to understand itself in a new level and be available to itself in that new level. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And, it's about bracing the space, not just to pinpoint one thing or one timeline, but I see a Cosma gripping space entirety as a whole, beyond us,
Yes.
beyond our program, beyond our own existence. And so, um, I have sat with you through class and individual sessions, and at the Conscious Life Expo, where we do the group ACASMA sessions, and then you have the workshops. And I've seen in person and I've experienced remotely the impact and the intensity and the movement and the shift that can take place. And beyond anybody I've worked with, you're probably one of the only ones that can pinpoint things beyond my own comprehension, and you have verified and confirmed those things. And so it's amazing. And I do remember that a few times you even were speaking a different type of light language that you were not familiar with. And so can you explain more about, through the sessions of ACASMA quantum energy, and how that can affect the body on many levels? And as you know, it's very expansive. So share what you feel, what's that experience for you, and what can that experience be like for other people? And can you talk about the orbs and beings that come in through your sessions, please?
Okay, absolutely. Okay, so Acasma quantum energy sessions, whether it's a group space and or an individualized session with a facilitator, Zoom and or what we call remote distance, see consciousness to consciousness, these are always going to meet everybody right where they're at. So it doesn't matter if somebody understands this space of energy work and is like a veteran of it and a light worker, or whether this is like, an accountant from New Jersey that never heard of energy work before. I don't know. I'm just picking anything out of the air, but you understand what I mean. Like it meets everybody right where they're at. And then it registers their connection point with the field as source in that format. So, for instance, let's use you. Is that okay? Okay. So, when I worked with you, Melanie, yes, yes, it's I'm in the field itself. We're all the field, and then we have these individualized reference points of it. So when I do a cosmic quantum energy, I'm in the field itself and I'm connecting in with your space of the field, your sacred alignment as Melanie in this particular life. Yes. And I register and read it. A cosmic quantum energy assists with that connection point. And all facilitators are going to have a little bit of a different way in which they read. That's not taught. That's an activated space of the being that comes on when you start aligning with your multidimensional self and your I am presence. Those are natural innate abilities all carry, and they come on as you allow. But every single AQE session, when I connect with you, you're immediately one off the bat. Step one, we're reconnecting and or blessing the connection of your root lines. So all humans have these root lines. Most people, when I meet them, even veterans of energy work in many ways, the root lines do not make it out the feet. They make it down the legs. We have different graphics available in my books and on my website, but the base of the torso is your root center. It's the energy space of you that assists you with grounding your energy. And boy, do you need to do that if you're going to expand it as well. So down the legs, out the feet, into the earth's energy. The human body's designed to do that grounding. And it's to assist the health of the body, the health of the being on all levels, and the ability to continue to expand and hold you. So the first thing I'm going to do when I'm working with you, Melanie, is we're going to get the root lines either reconnected. For some people, it's just a brand new space. And then for others, it's a deepening of the connection they already hold. Yes. And a blessing of that. Yes. Then we go up through the crown area and we work with soul spaces of the being. So all humans, we talked about it earlier, you have other life spaces and your soul experiences that space. And sometimes that space can end abruptly or traumatically, and or the life itself could still be going and you haven't died, but you've had a trauma in life to where a space of your soul felt as if it needed to tap out a bit. It needed to fracture out a bit so that it could survive the space. So in a cosmic quantum energy, step 2, we go and we check the soul spaces. Why? Because if you're grounded and anchored, you're ready to feel safe again. Therefore, your soul spaces can come home. Then we go to the sacred heart reconnection. It's the I am. And this is in every single Acasma session. It has to be, because these steps are, yes, the steps of the ascension process of the human. And they are always ever expanding. Yes. The further in you get with this work, and there's other people on the planet doing it under different names, I'm sure. I'm not the only one. I do not claim to be the only one. But this is what I do, and this is what I teach, and this is what I know. But the more you go down that path of allowing the deepening of your root lines, the reconnectivity of yourself to the planet, and we're talking new earth frequencies, the original blueprint, the distortions dissolve, the soul spaces return, clarity comes in, the I am that you are floods into your form. So the sacred heart reconnection. This goes all throughout your field. Everybody understands, most people hearing this, I'm sure, understand auric field, biofield, energy around the body, emanating that which is the flow of you in your body. That's how it works, right? Yes. That's a direct alignment to the creative process of how universe or source or the field, quantum field, reads us. Reads us through our frequency, our vibration, and our form. So it's very important. It's imperative to the mastery of your creative abilities in a sense. Does this make sense so far? It moves into the waters of the body, the session space. I work with you. We're talking about the waters of your body, the divine masculine, divine feminine balance in the body, the third eye expanding in the body. If thine eye be light, thy whole body shall be light. Yes. Mm-hmm. So your languages came in. You heard me speaking languages that I told you after the fact. They weren't mine. And you mentioned that earlier. That's because when I'm working with you or a group, I'm reading the field. Melanie, this is so fantastic. It's so big. It's so beautiful. It's so vast. And it's who we are. We're designed for this, masterfully designed. We're fully equipped for this. It's incredible. We're getting to witness truly the shift of an entire species. We're the front wave, if you will. We're like the boots on the ground, and we're witnessing and being it all at the same time. But when I spoke those languages, I think you and I, one of the spaces I really remember quite well was sitting in the booth at Conscious Life Expo. So busy ballroom, international ballroom, noise, people coming and going. You and I were seated in the booth area, and people were coming in and out of the booth, other facilitators, there's a whole team working with people. But you and I were seated there next to one another and just being that space. I think you had your eyes closed. I had mine closed. And I was just allowing and being this connection of a cosmic quantum energy. Language starts coming in. Yes. So I allow and I speak. It's the same as when people will say, I have a message from your angels. Yes. Or I have a message from your grandmother who passed away, came into your session, and I have a message from her. In a sense, it's that same type of thing because it's your sacred alignment of a space of you that spoke that language that is not gone. It's just a space of you that may not have been given availability or focus yet in this now, and you were knocking on your door. Does that make sense to some degree?
Yes.
So then I hear the language in my being, I can register it, read it, and speak it to you. And then most of the time, and you would be the one to answer this, but most of the time, the receiver of that in the session space, it's an energetic connection. So it's a language coming out of my mouth, but the person is receiving it in their consciousness, in their body, their being, their heart, and it is registered in many different ways, but usually most people will feel some type of emotion of coming home, of remembering a space of themselves, of being seen, of being heard. It's a very sacred alignment. Not all AQE facilitators speak other people's languages. They just don't. The ones that don't usually are also still waiting to activate their own. You do not have to speak light language to facilitate ACASMA. But it does tend to be activated as people move through the course space. But do you have any feedback on that, Melanie, from your perspective as the receiver? When I spoke the language, what was going on with you?
That is a very good question because even before that moment and event, we had connected at least a few times before that, and I do remember it came through. Remembrance is a good word that comes up. That's probably the only word. One of alignment is another one. Realignment, epiphany, another word comes up. I think a reprogramming of activation through, and they're telling me this. This is not, I'm channeling this that's coming in. Like it was a reprogramming of what you said, like the root lines that come in, not just from source, but our eternal being, our eternal programming down to not just the final structure of our blueprint, but like the ultimate beginning like the ultimate
Yes.
source of the beginning, which
Yes.
also carries through to us of not just of why we're here to remember who we are, but to carry through the purpose of what we're doing and why we're doing it on personal scale, grand scale, collective. Like you said, boots on the ground. We're here for a reason. I need a new pair of boots, by the way. Um, too much groundwork. So I think it's just kind of solidifies and confirmed how much can come through, even just a few words,
Yes.
and that can kind of refer to ancient alien technology. We see these signs and symbols, we don't know what they are, but if we look at, short symbolism of Xmas or Christmas, then we get the bigger picture. We start to see other things, right, along that are associated with Christmas. And so it's just a funnel point of what's bringing into focus of our own abilities, I believe, to confirm that we are not just living humans having this experience, but we are eternal star beings, galactic beings who've created ourselves. We're our own ancestors in our own way. We're coming back home to ourselves in multidimensional ways. So I think it was very comforting, and it helped me understand and confirm why I'm here and what I'm doing. So I
That's
really enjoyed
beautiful.
it.
I
Yes.
love that you went with remembrance, first word, because even the book, the title on the book is AQE Foundations, and it says, remember who you are.
Mm-hmm.
So I love the remembrance connection. Um, and even registering, like when people hear light language, theirs or someone else's, people tend, and it's all right, this is totally normal. This is what our minds like to do. We want to decipher it word for word and specifics, meanings, and so forth, and exactly where it comes from and who is the author of. But many times it would do us well to trust and allow the space and just be with the sensations, the interpretation that the heart is holding more so than the mind, because this stuff is so beyond um, meant in the best way possible. It's so beyond human comprehension. So it does us well to give it room. And so a lot of times people say, what language do you speak? Because I do have some that I tend to speak more than other languages. And I love to leave it into the unnamed category, because I think we're getting closer and closer to understanding and remembering these specifics. But I think trying to lock them in too early and define them too deeply slows that down, slows that movement of us down. So I love the unnamed. I think it's a very beautiful, sacred way to give space to the space itself and to the connection points of us. You said it so well. It's us in other spaces of ourselves. It's a unified field of consciousness with many variation points. So that's right on it. But like not having to pick it apart. My language that I speak, and I can change my tones with it, and it can sound masculine sometimes or feminine sometimes, but it is a very ancient language directly connected with the origins of Earth prior to any of the resets. In my understanding, there's been several resets of the planet. Yes. And so this language I speak is an origin, but it's purposeful in its sense of that remembrance factor you said, so that when people hear me, they hear me and they feel me, which is so helpful. And they may not know exactly how to describe what they feel or hear, but they can lean into that. They can allow that. And that's where they meet themselves in that origin essence space. Yes. And the I am that they are, that essence point starts to be able to open, because we've given it a space to do so. So a cosmic quantum energy is it's assisting the everyday now, because you do not move your energy and not move your life. Like if you change your energy, you've changing your life. They're interchangeable, right? They're interconnected. And in addition to, hands-on regular everyday life, your relationships, your jobs, your health, your ins and outs of how you be you, then you move into a cosmic quantum energy working with the way in which you remember the spaces of you beyond this life that you've built, that you're building, that you're living, and the vastness of you being given the opportunity to start to come in. Again, energy, change, shift, availability of yourself moves through you, and the life that you have now, the way you live the ins and outs, the ebbs and flows, it expands because you expanded. So it's incredible. Like I really couldn't name everything it can do because it would be an endless list of availability. But some of the points I would like to speak out loud, because when I speak it, and Melanie, you go, you hear me and the viewer hears us, we're landing this thing. Yes, we're flagging it in like the guys and the girls at the airport that help the planes get to the gate. So that's kind of what we're doing right now with these higher spaces of our consciousness. When we speak about it and talk about it and we hear each other, then they're getting the opportunity, these higher spaces of us, to land. So just a couple phrases that are common with the cosmic quantum energy work sessions, course space, book, whatever, however you're going to connect, if you're resonating with this. God frequency, yes. Source frequency coming on, DNA, yes. Cosmic DNA. You spoke about this. A cosma activates what they call, like humanity calls, dormant DNA, junk DNA. It's not dormant and it's not junk. It's waiting for the human to enter into a space of remembrance of itself in which its consciousness can support its coming on. Yes. And it's ancient and it's, yes. Higher dimensional would be a good way of looking at it. This DNA inside of us that is waiting to come on. And some of us, it's already come on. It's assisting us in quantum healing. It's assisting us in remembering we're multidimensional beings. It's assisting us in this expansiveness of ourselves as higher dimensional beings landing. We're shifting frequency, vibrational spaces of ourselves, including in our DNA. You're going to talk about, yes, some people, they are navigating, processing the changes of the world. And for some, it's easier than others. Some, it's hard. They're freaked out. They're tired. They're scared. They're, they just are not seeing this as easy. So a cosmic quantum energy meets them right there where they're at and resets them into a space where they could feel more peace, and they can allow more balance, and they can step forward into the everyday world that's all around us all the time, but doing it with a different lens, doing it with a different interpretation point, which is going to assist the being on all levels. So there's so many spaces of this, but the God frequency space is a big one. We're turning that on. The DNA space is a big one. There's the light body itself. This is so cool. This is really trippy cool. So we talk about we call it a field or shield of love in a cosmic quantum energy. You may have remembered it when we did the course space, activation of the sacred heart. It moves out around the body, the I am flow within the form, and we call it the shield field of love. And we say shield or field because as people navigate their expansion, they go from needing a shield to remembering they are the field. And so it's a process that meets everybody right where they're at, so that can be available. But then now this is really cool. I'm going to be teaching this. The course starts up again January 31st, 2026. So anybody who's finding like an interest with this, or it's pinging you, this part of the teaching is going to be brand new. I teach once a year, and I just updated the book. This didn't even make it into the book. I just had this massive insights, understandings on the shield field of love in a cosmic quantum energy, We landed a new level of this. So humanity now is through a cosmic quantum energy connecting in with their I am, and then experiencing this massive shift in their field, their biofield, their auric field. And now this is upticked to, some people will be familiar with these terms. I have a little bit of familiarity with them due to teachings I understand from the Bible, but there's a lot here from various cultures. Have you ever heard of the garment of righteousness? Yes. Or there's another term as well, where people will call it like the robe of light, or something like that. There's a couple art pieces that were done of like, I think Mother Mary was one of them. And there was another Egyptian goddess. I can't remember her name. And I don't study this stuff, so I don't know. Anua or Anana, I don't know. But anyways, it's this robe of light. They're depicted with this robe of light, right? So I was like, oh my gosh, I think this is the field, the shield field of love. But we're opening it at first to just be available to this understanding of our I am within our now. And then it's us. It's us. We are the embodiment of, right? And that is a key factor of the ascension process, to remember that that ascended, expanded space of yourself and land it. Landing happens through actively engaging. The understanding of it is beautiful, but putting the understanding into motion and living as if, that's the PowerPoint. Yes. And I think that's what's happening with this shield field of love, is we've hit a space of ourselves, of an understanding of this alignment of us, in which we're shifting it, and that garment of righteousness is lighting up. And it's I think a part of the process of us moving into a greater understanding of the unified field consciousness, of collective consciousness, but as higher dimensional beings. We're still in human formats, and that's important because that's how this gets integrated into the human species. That's why many of us came and took on bodies, and we might be, in my bio, I say star, or I'm a human being, but I'm a star being in a human form. And people always say to me, what do you mean by that? Are you an alien, Yeah, I am, but I'm also a human, but I do have a direct alignment to these spaces of myself that I've tapped into and can now be available through me because it is me. And this is what's happening. So the human species that's ascension. They're shifting into these spaces of remembrance, and they're allowing and trusting and implementing. And a cosmic quantum energy came in to assist that process, to assist the remembrance, to assist the reconnectiveness of it all, to assist the activation of it all, and the way in which people are able to integrate and process the energies of their own higher dimensional self. So I love the part about the garment of light, though. I'm going to have to look into that a little bit more. I actually just started getting the information in the last couple of days, so I'm just like spewing it out right here, right now. And you know how sometimes that can be kind of fascinating when it's landing and we're still like digesting it all. But yeah, that's so anybody hearing me, Melanie, we've got a code. I gave you a code. You're going to let everybody, there'll probably be a link or something connected with the video so they'll be able to see it. But
yes, would you like to share the code?
Okay. Yeah, friends of Melanie. I thought that would be fun. Friends of Melanie, if you use the code, what is it?
Multidimensional friends.
Oh yeah, I want to talk about the orbs. Yeah, you asked about them, the multidimensional beings, the light beings. But friends of Melanie, just so everybody knows, MEL, all caps, 25. and it's like $25 off the course. And the course is phenomenal. It runs for 12 weeks, I believe we are. We run from January 31st to April 18th, if I'm not mistaken. And so there's a lot of feedback available on my website of what ACASMA quantum energy is and can do, and what the course is like. And we have students, we probably have about a 50-50 ratio of return students and new students, because people just want to go deeper and they want to meet themselves in that new space of understanding. But real quick, I want to share about the light beams. Thank you for asking earlier. So that was one of the first things that happened with me that really, I think it was the packaging, how it met me right where I was at to help me allow more and know there was more. So I started seeing out of like the corner of my eye, light or movement. And I was like, what's going on? So it was like a knowing, get your camera out and just film the room. And so I was like, okay. And I had never done that before. And I had never followed anybody or watched anybody that had done it, but I was just leaning in and trusting. And I did. And was I was shocked at first. I was like, oh my gosh, like what? And then there's this beautiful space of unfolding that that happened with communication and information, and I traveled interdimensionally with an incredible guide, and we went through several bridges, kind of is one way we could describe it, between dimensional fields. It was fascinating. The sound changed. Yes, the clarity of the space even changes as you move through them. But I was shown a lot, and information was being given to assist us, to assist humanity, to assist the work that I was going to bring forth and offer. And I built a community about it, the ACASMA Planet of Light and Healing Grid and the ACASMA Family of Light themselves. It's a free spiritual community. It's available to everybody. And our core philosophy or space of connection is ACASMA quantum energy. So if that interests you, if you feel a ping, it's a free space you can come home to. We even have a saying, welcome home, Holy One. Welcome home. And it's a supportive space where we work with ACASMA quantum energy to allow this remembrance and this expansiveness of us to continue to expand. But the light beings came in and they didn't stop. They just kept coming and coming and coming. And I kept hearing in my being, the light is here. The light is here. And at first I said, is it wrong to show the videos? Is it wrong to show the photos? Because I didn't want to be disrespectful. These are beings, it's like taking pictures of somebody else or their child or whatever. You shouldn't just go sharing that without their permission, right? So I asked, and they said, please get this to humanity because they need to know we're here. They need to know we're here. And, people want me to tell exactly who they are. And they're all different spaces. They have connections with Arcturian. They have connections with Palladians. They have connections with Andromedans and Lyrans and Avians and Terra-Antians. And I work with the tall ones. I have a direct genetic line of my lineage with the tall ones. It's beyond those names, but those names are fine to allow. It's just there's this understanding that it's so much more. And yes, they aren't into the names as much as we are, but it's all right. It makes sense. We're still trying to wrap our heads around all of it, right? And they're not really in that kind of space of process. But they come in collective form. So that means there's multiple beings in one sphere of light, and they can be. The largest I've ever seen was actually in this chair. I was seated on the floor and I had the camera facing this way, and I was doing my light language, hand light weaving, and this massive sphere. I can send you the photo if you want to try to throw it into the video, but this massive sphere was right in this chair, and it's almost like a peachish color, really beautiful. Like a bone peach color, but it had to have been, I'm guessing, like, what is this, like about 2.5, 3 feet. And I mean, big, like it took up the whole chair, like they were just seated in the chair. I was like, well, this is pretty cool. And this massive white one came in that was probably about 2.5 feet. Usually I understand those are collectives. Now there was one time the sphere was so big it encompassed me, and it like came across the room and then went over my body, and I was like in it, and then it went off to the side of me. That one I felt was Christ consciousness. It was a direct alignment of Yeshua, and yeah, just really, really beautiful. And it did take me a little while to be able to like, yeah, um, wrap my head around this was my life. Um, but I will say, interestingly enough, some people will judge them and say I should be afraid because I don't have direct information that's solid about like this is exactly who it is. But I'm listening with my heart, and I'm some people may be familiar with the understanding of fruits of the spirit, and that you will know the energy by that which it creates, what it, produces. And everything that has to do with my life now and these spaces I'm talking about has produced healing for me and tens of thousands of people across this planet, documented healing, documented life shifts, I get emails and direct messages every single day, saying thank you and how grateful they are for the work and for the teachings and for the space, for the community. It's, I mean, it's why I do what I do. It's why I do what I do. I love what I do, and it's my core focus. Now we're going to be in Conscious Life Expo again. Are you going back? Are you going back? I got to see you twice now, right?
Yes, I'll be there.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Going
Yeah,
straight to
so
your booth on Thursday. Watch out.
oh, okay, okay. Um, yeah, so what do we got? February 20th, I think it starts. Is that day one, Friday the 20th, I believe, and then it runs through that Monday. I'll be there Friday through Sunday. But yeah, we've got that coming up. So anybody hearing this and getting a ping, getting a feeling of a connection of love, if you're able to get out to the Conscious Life Expo, February 2026, you can go on and check out their info on their website. On my website as well, I have a direct link, and I have my team listed and my events. I have a workshop, 2 lectures, and I'm on a panel for AI and humanity. So that's going to be pretty cool. I'm excited. I'm excited. But this
Yes, and
is,
you'll be offering free mini Acasma energy sessions. So anyone can go get an in-person session with, if they're lucky, with you or anyone on your team. They'll be there. I know
lucky,
you're
yeah.
in and out.
All the team is amazing. The team is amazing. I think we have 9 or 10 individuals on the team. Most of them have been there with me before. Some are newer, but they are just like, when you hear this and it pings you, you've been this before. I mean, this is not your first time in connection with this group, with these people, with this energy. It's us remembering ourselves and bringing it into a now. So the team is fantastic. I will be at the booth sporadically, but there'll be a sign there that'll let them know when I'm coming back. And definitely catch the workshop, the lectures. They're free, so I mean it's part of the event space. You pay to get into Conscious Life Expo, and then my workshop is free, and my lectures are free if you pay to get into the expo itself. The panel has an additional ticket that needs to be bought, but that's the only one. But yeah, they can come and get a free Acosma Quantum Energy session. Takes about 10 minutes or so. They're very fast. They're very potent, but in the best way. We love to say gentle yet profound. And that can be a wonderful way to become more familiar with what we've been talking about here today, quantum healing itself, the multidimensional being of us that we're landing in our now. And it's all, there's so many layers to why we're doing it. But I think it's really important to take note of, yes, anyone who does feel as if the world is big right now, or heavy, or daunting, or any of that, and it can be personalized specifics of life or in general, right? This space is designed for you in the sense of meeting you right where you're at and walking you back into a remembrance that you already have within you that allows you more peace and more balance in your life. Yes. And more trust. You know, when I first started doing this work in 2020 and the beings were coming in, they had the same message every client session. I always get specifics for clients, but then there would be this one unified message across the board, and it was humans need to get out of their heads and into their hearts. And there's not a lot in the world talking to the heart right now. There's more talking to the head, you know, and trying to initiate more spaces of possible fear or anxiety and stress, you know. And so being mindful that you decide what you feed your focus to, right? And being mindful of your power, because only you can decide who you give that to.
Right.
Yeah.
It reminds me, I like to say, think less, feel more.
That's
Kind of
beautiful.
the same
Yes,
sense.
that's beautiful. I love it. So I don't know how much time do we have, but do we have a minute or two that we could like maybe run like a 3 or 4 minute, 5 minute top session? Three, four, five.
Absolutely. I was
Okay.
hoping you would say that.
Okay, that would be
Um,
fantastic.
and I'll have our
And
friend here with us at this
Monty the monarch is here to be.
Monty the Monarch, our special guest.
We love that. We love that. The beautiful energy of change and the ability to fly like the butterfly. Just keep going with that wind and allow that flow. So that's beautiful. We'll accept Monty's blessing on this space. All right. So if you're hearing me right now and you want to experience this Acasma quantum energy space, let's allow a moment for you. Yes. If you're able to do this right now, do it this way. If not, come back to the video later. Some people might be driving or something. But if you're able to, when you're able to, you're going to close your physical eyes. Just allow your breath. Yes. Yes. Just allow the space. Yes. 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 Hane akau kuaye. Yes. Beautifully done. Just be with your breath. Just be with the space. Yes, beautiful. We're working with the root lines. Just allow the breath. We're working with higher dimensional beings of light, teams of light. We're surrounded by this assistance. Trust yourself. Allowing the reset of the lines. For some, this is a full reconnection. For some, this is a deepening, a strengthening. All have the opportunity to release fear, to engage peace, a peace that passes all understanding and keeps your heart and mind in the I am. Breathing, please. Nea kao koaye. Nea kao koaye. Iana sawa kea. Sabo aye. Sabo aye utonea. Manea kaukoa. Manea kaukoa. Breathe, please. Yes. Beautiful. Just allow the space. That's a very beautiful deep reset. Energy moving in the solar plexus. Energy moving in the sacral. Just allow. Resetting you. Resetting the way you digest life. Yes. Energy moving in the third eye and crown. Just allow the opening. Yes. Bringing balance in at a new level. You are bringing balance in at a new level. You designed this. You aligned this. You created this moment here. How glorious you are. Breathe, please. Nea kao koaye, blessing the Sacred Heart reconnection in the field. Beautiful shield and field of love. Garment of righteousness. Just allow your breath, please. Breathing, please. Yes, beautiful. Nea kao koaye. Crown is expanding. Breathe. Ah, there you go. Ha! There you go. You just dropped in. Ha ha ha. New level of you, Holy One. New level of you. There's some clearing in the solar plexus related to your lineage, your ancestors. Just allow the breath, please. Just allow the breath. Nea sautoaye. Nea sautoaye. Nea sautoaye. I would ask that you would seal this with your love, Holy Ones. Seal it with your love. Just hold the intention. I seal this with my love. I seal this with my love. Allowing the breath. Ooh, a lot of energy in the face. The way you see you shifted. New sight, new understanding. Yes. Beautifully done. Beautifully done. And slowly, gently going to bring the focus back to the physical sight, but just gently, slowly. And you're going to allow a moment when you do bring it back, because you don't have to do it right now. If you want to stay in longer, you can. But when you bring the focus back, you allow a moment to acknowledge the vibration is new. Just the thought, just the thought, just the thought. Looking around the room, looking around the car, looking around work, wherever you're at. Holding the alignment, the thought, the intention, the knowledge, the knowing. The vibration is new. The vibration is new. Wow, new. And now you get to allow, and I get to allow it to be new.
Yes.
Thank you for letting me be that space with you, all of you. Thank you so much, Melanie. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for sharing and assisting and guiding us into remembering who we are, into realignment, and so that we can dive deeper into who we are. And that's what we'll be doing as we evolve further into expansion, as we remember who we are. And I always like to say your method is like the golden pill of expansion. It is just the ultimate. We are over the blue and the red.
I love that. I love that.
Expansion right here with A.L. Garris. So thank you very much, and for your time today, and really speaking upon the Christ consciousness as well. I think that is very important. And I could also recognize the alignment of masculine and feminine energy coming through your speech as well. So
yeah. Thank you for that. Yeah, it's so fascinating. Yes.
And so as we end here, can you share everyone how we can find your website and your social medias, and if you have any other thing you want to share?
Yes, sacredexpansion.com. That's my website. Everything's on there. The courses are on there. Info on how to join the community. The understanding of the Acasma Grid of Light we do once a month on Zoom. It's a free space as well. I facilitate it. Haven't missed one Saturday since 2020. Not one Saturday. End of month Saturday. But yeah, sacredexpansion.com. They've even got links on there for my social sites as well. I'm on TikTok, IG, Facebook, YouTube, that kind of thing. So if someone's hearing this and it's resonating, if you have any questions, any comments, any feedback, you could share below the video. I'm sure there's a way to comment here and or reach out to the website, sacredexpansion.com, find me, and I would be happy to answer, happy to respond, happy to hear your feedback, happy to hear your feedback.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. And thank you everyone for joining us on Quantum Healing today, where we shine light on natural healing. And thank you again for joining us with A.L. GARRIS ACASMA Energy, and me, your host, Melanie Aguirre, and our special guest here, Monty the Monarch. Thank you, everybody.